Animal Planet. In this lesson, habitat, body covering, feeding habits, breathing organs, movements in animals, migration. Different animals live in different natural homes or surroundings where they feed, grow and reproduce. They are found almost everywhere on Earth. It is indeed very fascinating to see such a large variety of animals living on Earth. Animals vary in their eating habits, choice of food, habitats, behavior and body features. In this chapter, we will study how animals differ from one another. Habitat. The environment or the natural surroundings in which an animal lives is called its habitat. Animals are found in forests, deserts, polar regions, mountains, oceans and fresh water. Forest. A forest is a large area that is covered by different varieties of trees and plants. Animals like lions, tigers, elephants, bears, deer, monkeys, foxes, etc. live here. Some live on land and some on trees. Rabbits, hares, snakes, rats and moles live inside burrows. A variety of birds and insects are also. Desert. A desert is a sandy and dry area that receives very little rainfall. It is extremely hot in the day. Nights are relatively cooler. Desert animals have special features to live in such harsh conditions. They have mostly thick skin which prevents water loss due to sweating. Many animals stay in burrows during daytime to escape from the scorching heat of the sun. Animals like camel can store water in their bodies as there is scarcity of water in this region. Camel, lizard, hedgehog, chinkara, black buck and desert fox are some animals found in deserts. Hedgehogs have a short, thick spine on their body. They roll themselves into a tight ball for self-defense. Polar region. The region along the North Pole and the South Pole is called the polar region. The northern polar region is called the Arctic region and the southern polar region is known as the Antarctic region. It is extremely cold in these regions as they are always covered with snow. Animals living there have special features to withstand extreme cold. The bodies of the most of the animals living here are covered with thick fur. Most of these animals have a thick layer of fat beneath the fur to keep them warm. Polar bear, penguin, seal, walrus and Arctic fox are some of the animals found in the polar regions. Ocean. An ocean is a large body of salty water. Oceans occupy about 2/3 of the Earth's surface and are the largest habitat on the Earth. A large variety of animals like whales, dolphins, seals, octopuses, and fishes live in the oceans. Seahorse, whale, octopus. Freshwater. Freshwater is found in rivers, lakes and ponds. Animals like fish, frog, toad, duck, crane and a number of insects live in it. Turtle, duck, crane. Body covering. Different animals have different body coverings which help them to adapt themselves to different kinds of environmental conditions. Scales. The bodies of animals like snakes, lizards and crocodiles are covered with scales. Fish have overlapping scales. Scales protect the skin and prevent water loss from the body. Crocodile. Shells. Turtles, snails and tortoises are protected by a hard shell. When these animals sense danger, they withdraw their head and feet into the shell and hide to protect themselves from their enemies. Fur. Animals like sheep, yak and bear have fur on their body. Fur is a special kind of body covering which protects them from cold weather. Sheep, yak. Feather. The body of birds is covered with feathers. Feathers keep the body warm and protect the birds from rain. Feathers also help the birds in flying. Sparrow. Cockatoo. Quills and spines. The body of a porcupine is covered with long, hollow quills with sharp tips. These quills protect the porcupine from its enemies as they dislodge off the porcupines and stick them into the offending animal. Hedgehog has short thick spines which do not dislodge. Porcupine. Feeding habits. Animals need food to live. Different animals have different feeding habits. Their mouth parts are suited to the kind of food they eat. Animals depend on their surroundings for food. Based on animals' feeding habits, they are classified into the following kinds. Herbivores. Herbivores are animals that eat only plants and grass. Elephants, cows, goats, deer, giraffes are some herbivores. They have sharp front teeth called incisors for biting food and broad back teeth called molars for chewing and grinding. Carnivores. Animals like lions, tigers, cats and foxes which eat flesh of other animals are called carnivores. They have sharp, pointed canines to tear their food. They also have strong molars with sharp edges to chew flesh and bones. Omnivores. Some animals like bear, cockroach, squirrel, rat and most of the birds, etc. eat both plants and animals. These animals are called omnivores. Humans are also omnivores. Scavengers. Some animals like eagles, vultures, hyenas and jackals feed on dead animals. They are called scavengers. Breathing organs. Different animals breathe in different ways. During breathing, animals take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Oxygen helps the animals to burn food and release energy which is required to perform different activities. Land animals breathe in oxygen from the air, while aquatic animals get oxygen from water. Different animals have different breathing organs. Land animals breathe through their lungs, aquatic animals through their gills, insects through air holes, and microscopic organisms like amoeba and paramecium through their body surface. Lungs. Birds, mammals and reptiles breathe with the help of lungs. In lungs, oxygen from air is absorbed by the pigment hemoglobin present in the blood, and the blood gives up carbon dioxide present in it into the lungs. This air containing carbon dioxide is breathed out. Thus, exchange of gases takes place in lungs. Whales and dolphins also breathe through their lungs, though they live in water. Gills. Animals like fish, crabs, prawns which live in water breathe through their gills. Gills are specialized organ having a rich supply of blood. They take in oxygen from water and pass out carbon dioxide from the blood. Spiracles. Insects like flies, mosquitoes and butterflies breathe through small air holes called present on their bodies. Spiracles exchange of gases takes place through spiracles. Spiracles are connected to a fine network of air tubes which supply air to every body surface. Amoeba is a microorganism which breathes through its body surface. Earthworms breathe through their skin. Amphibians like frog uses their gills while in tadpole stage, and lungs in adult stage for breathing. Adult frogs breathe through their moist skin while in water, and breathe using their lungs on land. Movement in animals. Animals move from place to place in search of food and shelter. They also move to protect themselves and their young ones from danger of predators or unfavorable weather conditions. Many animals also move to breed and rest. Animals use different body parts to move. Different animals move differently. Land animals. Animals which live on land are called terrestrial animals. Most of these animals have two pairs of limbs. Two in the front are called forelimbs, and two behind are called hindlimbs. Some animals like cows, horses, dogs, and goats use all four limbs for moving. Human beings and kangaroos use only their hind limbs. Horse. Kangaroo. Aquatic animals. Animals which live in water are called aquatic animals. Ducks swim with the help of their webbed feet. Penguins move with the help of forelimbs which act as flippers to move water. Fish swim with the help of fins which act as oars. They also help fish to maintain balance in water. The tail fin helps them in changing direction of movement. Frogs swim in water with the help of their webbed feet. They use their long, hind legs to hop on land. Turtles swim with the help of their four paddle-like limbs with which they push water back. Movement in water animals. Insects. Insects have 6 legs which they use to move around. They can walk, fly, hop, jump or crawl. Insects like ants and cockroaches walk. Some insects like mosquitoes, flies and butterflies have light bodies and wings which help them to fly. Grasshoppers hop using their strong hind legs. Butterfly, cockroach, grasshopper, termite, louse. Insects like bedbugs, termites and lice move by crawling. Insects like water boatmen which live in water use their hind legs as oars for swimming. Some insects have 1 or 2 pairs of wings which help them fly. Insect wings do not have feathers, bones or strong muscles like those of birds, but are made of cuticle and they move with the help of chest muscles. Housefly. Dragonfly. Birds. Birds are called aerial animals. They can fly with the help of wings, and walk with the help of their legs. Some birds like ducks can even swim in water due to their webbed feet. Some birds like ostrich, emu, kiwi and rhea cannot fly because they have heavy bodies and weak wings. Birds like sparrows, crows, pigeons and parrots can fly in air. These birds have hollow bones resulting in light bodies. Their forelimbs are in the form of feathered wings. These wings are attached to the breastbone of the bird with the help of strong muscles. These muscles enable the bird to flap its wings and fly. The hind limbs help the bird to walk, run, hop, perch, catch its prey, and attack its enemies. Reptiles. Lizards, crocodiles, turtles and snakes are examples of reptiles. They have dry and scaly skin. They lay soft-shelled eggs on land. Though most of them have 4 short limbs, they move by crawling. Some reptiles like snakes do not have legs. They crawl with the help of scales or plates present on the lower surface of their body. These plates are attached to their ribs. When a snake moves, its ribs act like legs and the plates act like feet. Snakes also have strong muscles and a flexible backbone which help them to move forward. Humans. The limbs of human beings are much more developed than those of animals. Humans use only their lower limbs, legs, to support their body while standing and walking. That is why they have an erect and upright posture as compared to other animals. This gives them great advantage as they can use their legs to run or jump while using their forelimbs, hands, to defend themselves or fight an enemy. Human hands are specialized to hold objects. The position of thumb opposite the fingers allows to grasp tools, etc., and do various kinds of work. This, in fact, makes human beings the most developed of all animals. Migration. Some animals and birds move from one region to another in response to climatic changes. This mass movement of animals from one place to another to escape harsh weather, search for food or find a safe breeding ground is called migration. This happens at regular periods of time and during a particular season. When conditions become favorable, they return home. The term migration is more associated with birds. Birds which migrate are called migratory birds. They migrate twice a year, during spring and autumn. A large number of birds like storks, Siberian cranes and mallard ducks travel to India in winters. Some birds do not migrate at all. They are called resident birds. Eel is a migratory fish. It lives in fresh water but travels to the sea to lay eggs. The parent eels die when the eggs hatch and the young ones travel back to the river from where their parents had begun their journey. Some animals like caribou, elk, and whale also migrate in search of food. Some insects and butterflies also migrate. Monarch butterfly migrates from Canada to Mexico in winter. Locusts are migratory insects which migrate periodically. Locust swarms descend on standing crops and destroy them in a matter of few hours. Some birds migrate very long distances. The Arctic tern flies a distance of 35,000 kilometers between the Arctic and the Antarctic twice a year. The European stork travels from Europe to Africa every winter, and returns to Europe at springtime to the same nest. Siberian cranes nest in western Siberia and migrate to India in winters, flying about 6,450 kilometers. The long and accurate traveling routes of migratory animals is a mystery to scientists who study their migrations. Some animals like the salmon and gray whales are aided by sea currents during their migration. Reindeer find their direction with the help of sun rays. Birds mostly follow the coastline.